I'm Chris Berman. Well, let's get straight to the action. In our first game this week, we had the Colts edge their way to a narrow 3-point win. Shelton Quarles had a stellar game, but all said and done, his performance wasn't enough to lift his team to a victory. Steven Jackson rushed for over 50 yards and helped his Rams beat the Saints. We had a big injury in this one, and Trey has the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Chris, thanks. In front of you, we've got the AFC Infirmary Report. And as you can see, they were hit hard this week. Kevin Dyson is probably the one that most leaps out at you. He'll be out for 10 weeks. In front of you, we've got the NFC list. And as you can see, they could form their own MASH unit. Shaun Rogers sticks out on this list as one of the more costly injuries. He'll be out for 8 weeks. Now we'll move on to our top story of the day. Joe Horn will be on the sidelines for a while, and that is not good news for his club. So that'll do it for now. Chris, let's send it back to you.
In a long-standing NFC rivalry, we had the Redskins pick up win number 2. Up in the Pacific Northwest in Seattle, the city by the sound, we had the Seahawks win by a comfortable margin. Texans, Chiefs. Clinton Portis wants to get his team inside field goal range. Gets the handoff at the 42. Oh, he may do more than that. He shakes too. He could go all the way. Touchdown. The Texans win this one by the final score of 10-7. Over at Paul Brown Stadium, we had the Bengals squeak to a 1-point victory. The Cardinals' defense held their opponents to under 150 passing yards in their win at the Georgia Dome. The Browns won on the road and will now head home to meet the Redskins. Casey Fitzsimmons had a stellar game, but all said and done, his performance wasn't enough to lift his team to a victory. David Gibbons pulled down 100-plus receiving yards and helped his Titans beat the Jaguars. Chargers, Broncos. Terrell Owens is split out at the 3-yard line and takes the quick hitch, touchdown. The Broncos go on to win this by the final score of 22-17. Down in South Florida, Miami, we had the Dolphins come away with a brutal 18-point victory. We had an interesting free agency pickup of note here. Trey's got the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Chris, let's switch gears and talk about players that'll have new homes in the National Football League, as free agency continues to play such a huge role in determining a team's makeup. Sean Williams will be moving on from his current address, and he gets a pretty good deal to do it. 4 years, $3.1 million.
And last but not least, we had the Bears come away victorious. So that'll just about do it. But before we go, I'm going to toss out a few game balls to my prime-time players. Each and every one of these men had a week to remember. That'll do it, sports fans. I'm Chris Berman, and thanks so much for joining us here in the Bristol studios. We'll see you next week right here on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.